Assalamualaikum everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Today we'll discuss the last part of the novel Twilight in Delhi, so let's start. Chapter 1. The summer of 1918 was more than before. The city walls had been demolished. Thousands of Indians had been killed in the war against German. Influenza broke out in epidemic form, due to which many people had lost their loved ones. Shams lost his wife and became more religious than ever. There was not a single hour of the day when a few dead bodies were not carried outside the city to be buried. Due to this, a new cemetery was made outside the city. The prices of things like winding sheet, coffin, digging graves etc. people had to face allowed due to death of their loved ones and high price. Delhi became a city of the dead. Chapter 2. Since that night in January, Bilqis had been happy and her condition had improved. But as the summer months came, she felt exhausted and run down. It was now the month of June and the epidemic was raging. When Bilqis caught fever, Begum Nihal went to see her and stayed with her for 2 days. But due to bad condition of her eyes, she couldn't leave the house and Mir Nihal alone for long. One evening Asghar came and told her that Bilqis's condition isn't good. He took Masroor and Dilshan with him. About 4 o'clock in the morning, Bilqis felt her breath sticking in her throat. She called out. Masroor woke up and he woke Asghar up. Asghar came near to her. She said calmly, "And I'm going." Asghar felt regret and loss, but she has gone. Chapter 3. After her death, Asghar was very sad. He went to the graveyard every day and sat by his wife's grave for hours. After 4th death, he made the grave permanent. Chapter 4. Mir Nihal lay on the bed, day in, day out, remembering, buried under a debris of dreams. Mir Singhi had died and Redbeard had become too old to go out about anywhere and came to see him only now and then. Kambal Shah had disappeared. Thus, Mir Nihal was all alone. The Home Rule movement was started, but he wasn't affected by it. New ways, ideas and hybrid culture was come into being. The English half been beaten by the Turks at Gallipoli. Even this hadn't affected his heart. Asghar often came now wearing English clothes, but his father didn't say anything. For Mir Nihal, it was difficult even to sit. His body had become heavier. Ghaffur helped him with the least things he wished to do. Begum Nihal had become dependent on Dilshan. Masroor had failed 2 or 3 times in matriculation examination. After that wasn't even successful in job. Now he was preparing to away to his aunt. Shams often flirted with the young maidservant, but although outwardly he was religious as before, Begum Wahid wrote regularly home and seemed to be getting on well. But Mehro was unhappy, although she herself didn't write her troubles and woes. She had came Delhi only twice ever since she was married. Her husband was very suspicious. Chapter 5. Since Bilqis's death, Asghar had started looking after her daughter Zahanara himself. Zohra, Bilqis's sister, often came and felt sorry for him. Zohra had grown into a beautiful girl of 16. She confessed her likeness for him. Asghar also liked it. Hardly 6 months had passed since Bilqis's death. Yet he was thinking of marrying again. Chapter 6. 30th of March 1919, the streets were empty when Asghar was coming back from office 5 o'clock in the evening. Despite the situation of Hindustan, Asghar only think about himself. He had already decided to his mother and father about it. Chapter 7. When Asghar reached home, that Habibuddin had come. He wasn't well for some time. He was here to consult some hukams. Bazam had also come with him. He was quite 12 years of age. Asghar gave Nasim 1 rupee. Saeed Hassan came in just then. He and Habibuddin were great friends. Saeed Hassan had got married to Surya. He had a son and was very happy. Chapter 8. It wasn't until a few days later, when Habibuddin had left, when Asghar was able to have a talk with his mother about his marriage. Begum Nihal was agreed to it. Hunchback Aunt heard this conversation and told Begum Jamal about it. She went to see Begum Shahbaz about this and to know about her opinion. Begum Shahbaz would never agree to it. Asghar had spoke to his father and he was also agreed. Begum Nihal went to Begum Shahbaz and gave her the proposal for Zohra's hand. Begum Shahbaz said she must consult Ishfaq on this matter. When Asghar heard about it, he was filled with fear and doubts. Asghar talked to his father and said that Aunt Begum Jamal is opposing to my marriage with Zohra. Mir Nihal became angry. When Begum Jamal heard what Mir Nihal said about her, she was deeply hurt. She talked to Mir Nihal and after her conversation she left the house, on which she had lived for 40 years. Chapter 9. Mir Nihal was stunned after this incident. He had been very fond of his dead brother. Their father had died of cholera soon after the massacres of 1857. He had left a good deal of money, but it had been discovered and looted by the prize agency. Due to Mir Nihal's condition, Ghaffur grumbled at him and grudged doing things. Asghar hadn't yet received any definite reply about Eid marriage from Begum Shahbaz. Habibuddin hadn't improved. As days passed, his condition had become worse. He was treated by many hokams and in many ways. They had treated him even from doctors, Pir, Maulawi and even the magician, but his condition didn't improve. It was on a fine morning in early October that he was removed from the Zanana. Relations had been coming and going. Begum Wahid and Mehro also arrived. 3 days before his death, Habibuddin asked everyone's forgiveness. After that he became calm and fell into a coma. About 11 in the night he quietly passed away. After burying his dead body, when they came back home, Asghar received a letter from Chanbali, which Zohra had written that they are getting her married in the morning, but she loves Asghar. But God's will be done. When he read that, he was hurt. Mir Nihal was now more dead than alive. He lay on the bed in a state of coma, too feelingless to sit up or think. So that's all for today's video. I hope you like the video. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Until the next day, Allah Hafiz.